Welcome back to the video, guys. Today we're getting right back into working on this 903C. Got the whole head gasket job finished up by the end of the day today. We're going to get it running and out of the shop.
What's up, guys? All right, it's the next day. The parts for the head gasket job are all in. Everything we need is there already. It's the next day, so that's nice. We like when things come next day and we can get things out of the way.
It happens.
Sometimes it happens, usually not. But so we're heading over to HO Penn in Connecticut and to go pick up the parts we have and get out there, grab the parts, get back, and hopefully get that whole thing finished up today.
Check back in with you guys.
We'll see you guys in a bit. So we're here at HO Penn. They're a cat dealership. They where we get our parts for all of the cats that we have at all the farms. So yeah, this is it's a little bit of a drive from us, but we come out here obviously because we have to get the parts somehow, and they can get them fairly quick usually, and they can get everything. It's just a matter of how long it takes and how much it is. But we're here now, and we're gonna get the parts. We got them. Let's get this damn thing out of the shop. All right, well, time
to go back to Newtown and get to work.
All right, we're back at the shop now. We got all the parts. We're getting ready to get everything in and get everything started to go back together and see if we can get this fucking thing running today. We got our fancy Bluetooth torque wrench, just setting all the values we need for the head bolt and for the rocker arm bolts, and then we're gonna slap the head gasket on and start putting everything back together. All right, so let's get started. All right, so for the head gasket, there's these holes right here and right here. Those are set pins on the head, like dowels sitting on the block, and they're a little offset on each side, so this thing can only go on one way. So there's no way you can put this on backwards or anything like that. So we're just gonna put this thing in there. Bam. Just like that. Go.
There she sits.
That's it. And the head's back on. Now we're just gonna lay in all the bolts, and we're gonna start tightening them from the inside working out. We got the head bolts all started and pretty much hand tight, and now we're gonna torque them all down.
Yeah, so from Cat, we got our torque specs and we got our sequence. I guess everything's pretty like general on these things, so they said just to work our way out. So that's what we're gonna do. We got this fancy little proto Bluetooth wrench, so we'll be able to judge what we got going on with our torque specs. So right now we got the head bolt in there for 70 foot-pounds, and
so we're gonna start in the middle here. We're gonna do like middle, then, you know, one step outward, then opposite direction, one step outward until we're from all the way out to the edges.
Yep.
All right, here we go. So start in the middle.
Extension.
Might need an extension. Or put it on that side of the...
Let's get an extension.
Yeah, that'll be better.
Nope. Shit.
So we've torqued them all down initially. We went from center outward, so like center 2 bolts down to these ones, over to these ones, that like in that pattern until we got to the edge. We went over a second time just to make sure everything was still at 70 pounds. We had a few that had to go back up. So now we'll drop in the push rods back in the order they came out, and then we'll get the rocker arms on. In place, and the factory spec is 240 inch-pounds on the bolts, so we're going to do the same thing, do the inner 2 to outer 2 and check them again. Now that we've got those on, we can put the valve cover back on. Put the valve cover back on, we can start hooking the fuel lines and stuff back on and really get all the accessories back on. So let's get moving. Now that we got the rocker arms all torqued to spec, we're gonna just clean up the surface where the valve cover gasket meets the head. Just make sure there's no dirt or debris or anything there, and get the new gasket into the head, into the valve cover. And we're gonna bolt it down. Of course, every time
I always got to add a little special touch to the inside of a valve cover gasket.
whenever we're inside of something, we're like, it's rare that you're inside of there. We always got to add a certain male anatomy piece drawn in there, just so you know we're there. Got the new valve cover gasket in there, and so we're going to take it and drop her in. Alright, that should be plenty. That ain't going nowhere. We've got the strap for the glow plugs here, all wrapped up in my hand, and then we've got all the fuel lines that go from the fuel injection pump to the actual injectors. So let's get these all on and get moving forward even more. injection pump to the actual injectors all on and tightened. Don't forget on the injection pump to hold the bottom actual injector off the injection pump still while you're tightening the line, because you do not want to twist that. And then when you're doing the strap for the glow plugs, don't forget on the back one you have to put the wire back on. And all the rest were painted yellow, and this one was clean. Obviously use the clean one where you're putting the wire because you want a good connection. Alright, so we got the alternator bracket, the alternator fan, the belt's loosely on. We got the fuel rail back on. We got like the harness brackets on. The alternator wires all hooked up. So we're just going to be putting like the radiator, the hydraulic cooler in, filling it up with some fluids, and should be starting it pretty damn soon. Alright, so now we've got pretty much everything back together. We've got the radiator assembly back on with the hydraulic cooler. We've got the fuel rail on. We've got everything on. All the lines are hooked up. Everything's tight. We need to do a quick oil change.
Now we're going to change the oil filter and the fuel filter on this thing. I'm going to dive under, get everything drained out. They're super easy to change right here on the side. So we'll get these rocking and rolling and changed so that we can get ready to fire this machine up.
Yeah, so we're really close. We're at the final stroke. I'd say we rounded third base at this point.
Yeah, I'd say
we're getting to home base. So after we do all that stuff, we can finally start it and let it get up to operating temp. Make sure that the thermostat opens. Make sure that coolant's circulating through the entire block, and then we'll do like a typical leak check, bolt check, all that stuff. But this will be very soon, very soon. Let's get this oil drained and get these filters changed and keep the process moving.
Yep.
we're gonna get this thing filled with coolant. We got it filled with oil. We got everything really, all the bolts double checked and everything, making sure it looks good. And we're gonna just, yeah, get it filled up, get it up to operating temp, make sure everything's good, not leaking. We might have to crack some of the injector lines to get it running, since we had all that off, and the diesels are very particular about air pockets. So let's get this thing filled with coolant, try to get it running, get it up to temp, and hopefully get this thing out of the shop finally.
Let's do this thing.
We got the coolant as full as it will go until we get it running up to temperature and get the thermostat open. So now we're gonna work on trying to get this thing started. We're probably gonna have to crack some lines, fuel lines, and get the fuel system bled, but let's get this thing started, it's time.
All right, now we're gonna try to get some of this air out of the lines. We had all the fuel lines off of this before, so we know that there's basically air everywhere from the fuel injection pump all the way up to the head. So we're gonna go first by cracking one of the lines and cranking the machine and just start bleeding the air. All right, go for it. Yep. Just like that.
Now we've got it running, let it get up to temperature, let the thermostat open, double check for anything leaking, and as long as this thing holds temp and doesn't leak anything, we're pulling this thing out today. So let's just see if we can get it up to temp and be done. All right, guys, so that's it. We're pretty much wrapped up the job. We got the head gasket done.
Thanks, you guys, for stopping in. If you got any pointers, anything that we could do better,
let us know in the comments. Yeah, chime
like,
in.
comment, subscribe. Get ready for more stuff.
We'll see you guys next time. Peace.